Rejoice, Sonic fans, as we are in a renaissance. It feels like we can't go a month without news of a new Sonic project, which after the 5-year wait for Forces, this is a welcome change. After Sonic's 30th anniversary, you really can't go anywhere without finding something Sonic. Cakes, Intel motherboards, fidget spinners, movies, wireless earbuds, and everything else under the sun. I have to admit, I'm a bit jealous that kids are getting what my autistic ass wanted so bad growing up. I specifically remember a birthday party I had where I got so upset that I got a Mario cake instead of a Sonic one, because at the time there just weren't any being sold. So as jealous as I am, I'm also happy for the kids that get to have Sonic-filled lives. Okay, I'm getting off topic. With all these new releases that have been announced, there is one that slipped through the cracks and got leaked early. Editing Austin cutting in to say that means that the rest of this video is going to be getting into spoiler territory. If you want to wait for the actual announcement of this game, this is your time to click away. But make sure to come back later, it's still a pretty good video, I would say. Under the name of Sonic Toys Party. This is a Fall Guys themed mobile platformer where a group of Sonic toys duke it out between a variety of challenges to prove once and for all who's the best toy of them all. Even though the logo itself looks like a lawsuit waiting to happen, taking clear inspiration from the Toy Story logo, there are some other aspects that I feel are important to talk about. But before I get into it, this wouldn't be a YouTube video if I didn't ask for you to subscribe. Let me be real with you. I love making content and getting to know all of you. And I hope to make it what I do full time. However, I can't do that without your help in subscribing. Something free for you that would mean the world to me. And with that said, let's get into the video. With the announcement of Toys Party, that's such a weird name, some things came to mind that have me worried about the longevity of this mobile game. That's not to say that Sega doesn't have multiple titles that have a long standing on the mobile scene, but I don't think I have ever fully healed after waiting hours for my game to update, only to lose Sonic Runners and have it be replaced with the Great Value brand that just never hit the same. As fun as the game looks, live service games can be pretty hit or miss when it comes to Sonic. If Sonic Runners isn't a good enough example, just look at Sonic Superstars multiplayer. From launch, you couldn't play the game without having your lobby be filled with mostly bots. And this is with a game that was on multiple consoles, extending the amount of players the game had. Obviously, the multiplayer in Superstars wasn't the main selling point of the title, but it's still fair to say it was a big part of the marketing. And now you have a game that is going to be solely reliant on its multiplayer aspect, with lobbies that are supposed to be filled with even more people than Superstars. That's also only coming out on mobile devices, which is better than being an Apple Arcade exclusive, but still worrying for the future of this game, as for it to be successful, it would need to have an active player base. And then to keep said players, it would need to be constantly updated to keep those players invested in the title. Which means Sega would need to have staff constantly working on this title, which with the recent layoff seems like an odd move, even if it would be outsourced to another team or company. Obviously, I'm no business professional, but as an outsider, I don't know if this is Sega's smartest decision. Now, that's not to say there aren't things that don't look promising, such as the wide roster of playable characters, or the mini-games like the one where you have to avoid the death egg on a shrinking platform. That one genuinely looks pretty cool. But that's also coupled with the level stages of Green Hill, Chemical Plant, and Sky Sanctuary, which look good, but also knowing the Sonic community will be torn to shreds by the fans for being brought back again. Personally though, I think the lighting used in these levels is really nice, especially in Chemical Plant. But that's still not to say that there are going to be quite a few that take issues in the title for that reason. I personally think Sega is approaching the mobile game titles wrong, as we already have Sonic Forces Speed Battle, which seems to be still doing alright. So instead of creating another live service game where you need people actively playing in order to justify the server staying up, I think Sega should shift their focus onto passive games that players pick up and play whenever they want. I plan on making a video dedicated to this topic, which is still most likely gonna happen, but one of the games I planned on talking about that I really think would service itself well is something that Sega would probably have to actively try and mess up for it to not work, which of course being a Chow Garden app. I mean, what have people been asking for more than anything? The return of the Chow Garden. And what better way to bring them back than as a mobile app where players can passively take care of their chow in their downtime? It would literally print dollar bills if done right. I mean, who of you watching haven't had a Tamagotchi growing up? Or, better yet, had that Poe app downloaded on your device? I know for sure I played with my Poe so much growing up, and the Chow Garden could be today's new Poe. Now, I have a lot more I could talk about when it comes to my ideas on mobile titles, but again, I plan on making a dedicated video on the topic. So if you would like to see that video be made, make sure to sound off in the comments and subscribe while you're down there. Now, when it comes to Sonic Toys Party, I obviously don't want it to fail. Not only am I a huge toy enthusiast, having a channel dedicated to the subject that I may have kind of abandoned until I can make YouTube full time for me. But I also don't want to see Sega fail at another Sonic game so that a lot of people can come out of the woodworks to claim that we are in another Sonic Dark Age again, when we are clearly not. But it is to say that as a Sonic fan, I'm a bit anxious to see this live service game being made with not only Sega's history with multiplayer, but also other games that have tried coming out replicating the style of other popular multiplayer games just to tank because they couldn't get the audience for them. All that said, I wish the best for Sonic Toys Party, and I definitely plan on trying it out when it's available, but as of right now, I'm worried for the future of this title and just needed to air my thoughts to all of you. So as I stand by cautiously waiting for the title, I'd hope that all of you would consider subscribing to the channel. It would really help me in my journey of becoming a content creator. So subscribe and let me become your new favorite. And with all that said, I'd like to thank you all so much for watching this video, and I can't wait to see you all next time.